Let's take a look at this setup of the mag brake unit that I've got here. I've taken a piece of 3/4 inch plywood and cut it 24 by 24 inches, drilled a 5/16 diameter hole through it, 9 1/4 inches down and 9 1/4 inches over from the upper left hand corner. And I countersunk the bottom so the head recesses in, sits flat on the table. Now you've got your mag brake unit here, and comes with the line counter and the counter box and the mag brake. And to adjust the brake, use one of the Allen wrenches that I supply and loosen the collar. Now, when not in use, you want to keep the mag brake in the 0 position. And when you're done using it, switch to the 0 position. Now, just rotate the outer ring down. You'll notice there's graduation marks on there. Move it to the desired position, then lock it back in position. Now you can check the tension by pulling on your line with a fishing scale, and that'll give you the poundage. And so now let's take a look at putting the spool line on. We supply a couple of cones and a couple of spacer collars. Depending upon the inside diameter of your spool, you'll need one or the other, and they're all different. This particular spool requires a 3/4 inch collar, so that's what we're going to use. So take your arm off, loosen that little screw, lay it down. You may need to drill a hole corresponding to the engagement pin on the pulley. So check that. We're going to slide the collar over. There's the engagement pin right there. So you want a hole in your spool so it'll lock into it. I've drilled one right there. So slide the spool on, put your arm down so you don't bump into it and bend it. It's a little fragile. Make sure it engages the locating pin in the spool. Put your cone on, slide it over, collar. There's a flat on the shaft, and when you tighten that set screw down, thumb screw, you want to make sure it goes onto the flat. Check your engagement. Whoops, I didn't have it in. Let's tighten her back up. And put your arm back on, and there's a bearing back there. Don't worry about tightening those little set screws on the bearing. It's not necessary. Just slide it back in, and you're good to go. Now let's take the reel winder 3 with a motorized line unit on it and drop it onto our piece of plywood. We need to firmly secure it with a hold down bar, and you've already drilled the hole over what I mentioned before. And so take the hold down bar, just drop it in place. Take the washer and the nut provided, tighten it down. Use a wrench, get it good and tight because you're generating a lot of torque here, so you don't want things moving around. So tighten that down, and we're going to put the reel on now. I've already connected the line just to move things along, and put it in the reel seat. Wiggle it around, make sure you get it firmly in there like you would when you're putting it on your reel. On your rod. Tighten down the clamps, get everything tightened down. And I suggest using the reel jacks. They support the reel, keep it from rotating from side to side and wobbling. So they're easy to adjust. Just stick them up under there. You may need to fiddle around, get this right. Once you get it set up and get the feel of it, everything will come easy. So just get this under there and get it in position, tighten it down, and you're pretty much ready to go. Keeps everything from moving. You want to slide the motor over now, and you want the center of the T drive to be centered with the crankshaft of the reel. So get that lined up. You may need to move the reel forward or backwards or up or down on the posts. Everything's movable. Get it all lined up. Tighten everything back down. Don't hesitate to tighten. Get your line guide tool. Turn your DC power control on. Turn the variable speed knob slowly till you get going. And this is about quarter power, so just start easing into it and away you go. Let's take a look at using the spinning reel adapter to do spinning reels now. Remove your conventional reel. You want to slide the T driver out of the holder and put your spinning reel adapter in. We have three different sizes, small, medium, and large. They expand on the inside of the skirt of the spool and hold it very tight. Slide that in the T drive, tighten it down on the flat spot. It just slides in and out of the skirted spool. Nice and easy. Tighten it down, expands and holds it really tight. Hook your line up, set your drag, and away you go. Use your line guide tool and distribute the line evenly. Couldn't be easier. So it's very easy to strip line off your reel. First thing you want to do is put your mag brake in the 0 position, and then you want to take note of the bolt that's in the end of the shaft holding the spool. Take a cordless drill, chuck it onto it, tighten the chuck up good and tight. Put your reel in free spool and monitor the spool with your fingers. Be careful. And then strip your line. As easy as that. And when you're not using the mag brake, put it in the 0 position.